Hello everyone, Sunday Adelaja here. Господи, слишком горячий. Так горячо, что страшно. Может быть, потому что мы на улице, она так. Пускай просто чуть-чуть мед добавит. Не надо раздавить, да, только медом. Welcome everyone. Good morning. So who do we have there today? Shegun Fatumo, Lola Shorunke, Rochelle White, Mayowa, Olukayode, Flay Karim Matip, Oluwatoyin, Christy Basi, Zukile Shiwula, Cecilia Blaine, Magdi Van Vick, Shibuzo Obi, Ladi Shoronke, Benny Gift, Faith Odua, Nkem is here, Jacqueline Ojo, Joti Dowu, Bose Fayajola, Taiwo Aboaba, Mike Atkins, Peter Ayodele, Iziegbe, Alan, Jake, Elizabeth, Stephen, Apostle Yomi, Kate, Cyril, Paula, Basil, Shola, Ayodele. Well, Peter, Jonah, I tried to call you, Peter. I tried to call you yesterday because I saw your missed call. Who is that saying he tested my number? Mike Atkins, I tested your number on Facebook, sir. Better write me. I don't use telephone. Better write me. My email is pastor@godembassy.org. So if you tested my number, I'm sure I didn't get it. I don't even use telephone. I don't see I don't know the last time I saw telephone last. I don't know the last time I saw TV last. So I am so I'm just on email. Not TV, telephone, sorry. Anyway, nice to see you guys. Welcome to another day. Today's message is your calling is in what you are naturally good at. Your calling, we keep on talking about the series on calling, and the series continues. Your calling is in what you are naturally good at. Your calling is in what you are naturally good at. Your calling is in what you are naturally good at. So that is a continuation of the topic that we started last week. So sometimes we make it so complicated. We make calling look so huge and so lost. But it's not so bad to find out. It's not so difficult to find out what your calling is. So will you please go and share the link? Before I begin, for real, let's go and share the link. So please, everybody, go to your share button. Go look for your share button and let's share the link for this message. All right? So let's quickly do that. I give you 1 minute. Give you 1 minute. Go share the link. Then we can take off from there. Your calling is in what you are naturally good at. All right, we are ready to go. Most people think that those things that they are naturally good at, that they are mundane things. They are unimportant things. And how could my calling be in something unimportant? How could my calling be in something unimportant? Well, that is the paradox of life. And that is the paradox about life. The paradox of life is that everything is important. There is nothing that is not important. For example, somebody said, I don't have a calling. How do you know that you don't have a calling? Well, because I don't have a calling. God didn't tell me anything. But everybody has a calling. There is no human being that God does not give a calling to. There is no human being that comes to this earth without a calling. God has prepared you for something. So this same person that says that God had not given him a calling, and she doesn't have a calling. I mean, the calling is written all over her. The calling is written all over her. So I told her, you have a calling. He said, what's my calling? You are a loving person. You love people. I said, love people. Everybody loves people. Well, you love people differently. You love people. And just how can loving people be a calling? Yes, it is a calling. It could be a calling. You could teach the world how to love. Even something as simple as loving people. You might think that it's so simple that it's nothing. I thought I'm going to get an angelic visitation, that you are an evangelist. Behold, so thus says the Lord. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. It might be just as simple as, how you relate to people. That might be, your calling could be hidden there. What is it that comes naturally to you? What is it that you are naturally good at? Are you naturally good at listening to people? Are you naturally good at listening to people? Well, if you are naturally good at listening to people, so what calling is that? That is the calling. That's the calling. But you see, what you are naturally good at only is just a pointer to what your calling or profession could be. Let me tell you something. The way it works is this. You first of all find out what you are naturally good at. Then you go and study what are the professions connected to that. That's the way to do it. I think you should know that. You should pay attention to that. That you should not let that pass by you. You first of all study what you are good at. What is it that you are naturally good at? What is it that naturally comes out of you, that you are good at? You don't need to think twice to do it. You don't need to struggle to even do it. What is it that you are naturally good at? Let's say you are naturally good at listening. So what do you do with it? How do I know what to study? If I'm good at listening, should I just go and be listening to everybody? Is that a profession? Is that my profession now? No. What you are good at is an indicator. What you are good at is your indicator of what you pay attention to. So let's say you are naturally good at listening to people. The way to do it is this. Go to your Google or go to the internet and find out what are the professions that are connected with listening to people. So if you see that you are naturally good at listening, then look at that. Just go and search. Okay, the professions that are connected to listening are psychology, or maybe pharmacies, or something like that, or sociology, or anthropology. Just look for those professions that are related to listening to people. So it's not just enough that you got, I like to listen to people. I like to hear them out. So that means I got my calling. You still need to study. You still need to do some little bit of research. So that research you are doing is what will lead you to the fact that, counseling. Maybe listening to people is about counseling. So I might need to go and study counseling in that case, or guidance, or parenting, something like that, or consultation. So because you don't just the idea of what you are naturally good at is like the raw material. It's like the oil. It's like going to dig on the ground and you find out there is oil, crude oil. But crude oil is only the raw material. Or the diamond that you have from the ground is only the raw material. But the raw material still have to be processed. So by the time you find out what you are naturally good at, that is only the raw material. Then you have to process it, think through it, and go and study, do research, so that the research could tell you what are the professions and what are the skills that you need to develop, and what are the professions that are connected to what you are naturally good at. That is very important. Let's say, for example, you like being in the kitchen, you like to cook, or you just like anything connected to food. And you say, oh no, that I can never, that could never be my profession. It's just what I like doing. I can never be good. It can never be my calling. How can kitchen be my calling? Kitchen, food, no, no. But everybody eats now. It's an embarrassment. How can I just, my profession, a whole human being, how can my profession just be food or cooking? No. So, we trivialize. That's our problem. We trivialize ourselves. We trivialize our gifts. We trivialize our potential. We normally trivialize our calling because of our attitude. So, for example, let's say you find out that you are good, you are comfortable with food, you are good at cooking. Maybe you are not quite at cooking, but you just like to be in the kitchen. You like to be around the kitchen, cooking or doing anything connected with that. And you say, oh, how will I tell my friends that I'm a man and I like to cook and that my calling is cooking? No, that cannot be. My calling cannot be cooking. The cooking cannot be my calling. That's an embarrassment. It cannot be about cooking. My calling cannot be cooking. Well, it could be. You see, you should remember again the fact that cooking or liking the kitchen, that is what you are naturally good at, or that is what naturally comes out of you. Now, that thing that naturally comes out of you still needs to be processed. It's just a pointer to you. It's just an indicator to you of the direction that you're supposed to walk in. So when you see that you like kitchen and you like cooking, or you like everything connected with kitchen and food, so then go back, go and study, go and do some research and say, what are the professions that are connected with cooking? What are the professions and the jobs or professions that are connected to food? So when you begin to study, you discover that cooking and food and kitchen is not only about being a cook. So even though I like cooking, but my profession might not just be, it might be being a cook. Then if you begin to study everything about being a cook, you will discover that it's not so embarrassing after all. You will discover that, wow, there are so many people out there that are cooks and that are good at what they do. And that we have cooks who are millionaires. And we have cooks who are famous people. And that being a cook is not something you should be ashamed of after all. What leads you to that? It is studies. It is research. So it is when you research the subject that you discover that, wow, being a cook could actually be an art. It could be a science on its own. So, but apart from being a cook, just because you like kitchen or you like everything connecting with cooking, that doesn't mean that you are so inferior to somebody. But when you begin to really learn and do research about it, you discover that, wow, there's a whole industry that is called catering. That is called catering. So it will be a whole industry that God is inviting you to. Or you might say, oh, well, I like cooking, but I like things connected to kitchen. What are the other things? Then if you do the research, you discover that, wow, hotel business, restaurant business, and all these things are all about cooking. So it's a whole industry. It's one of the most lucrative industries in the world. But if you just look at it as something, trivial, as something that is just called cooking, I mean, everybody knows how to do that whole cooking. That's like old woman's job. That's like, that's like, it's not even a profession. If you are going to trivialize what you are naturally good at, you will never discover what your calling is. You see, the idea, one of the most important things, is for you not to trivialize whatever you think that you have, that you are naturally good at. And some of the reasons that make us to trivialize what we are good at, our gift and calling, is the fact that we think it will not make money for us. Well, the reason why you are thinking that it will not make money for you is because you don't do research. You have not investigated the subject. You have not done research on the subject. You have not found out actually what are the means and methods that will make that thing profitable to you. So if you are good at cooking, and that could be a big business. I mean, you could become one of the richest people in the world. I mean, hotels, all of them have restaurants. I mean, whole hotels could be what God is calling you to do. It might be restaurants. It might be anything. I mean, those are great businesses right there. And what I spoke about initially, if you are just good at loving people and you think, oh, wow, how can that be a profession? By the time you finish studying that subject of loving people might not be as trivial as you are thinking anyway. Because when you just go and study the subject of loving people. So who are the people who love people? Well, then you discover that to love people is connected with pastoring. To love people is connected with psychology. To love people is connected with counseling. To love people is connected with, teaching. To love people is connected with a lot of other professions. So it is when we are talking about the seed here. What I'm giving you through this teaching is the seed. So you need to find out the seed of your calling. And the seed that I'm giving to you today is what you are naturally good at. So make a list, take a sheet of paper, and find out, let's say, the things that you are naturally good at. And when you put a list maybe of 3 things together, or 4 things, maybe 5 things, maybe 10 things, put the list down. When you put that list down, then find out where you are strong, where you are naturally, good at. And you might be good in several things, but you are better in one thing than the other. You are naturally better in some things than the other. So, if you put a list of 10 things down where you are good, then point out the things that you are really good in, that are really natural to you and are easy that come out of you much more easily. And make a list of the top 3 of those. Then go and research them. Go and make research so that you'll find out which ones of those top 3, what each one of them, what profession are they connected to. Then when you get the profession that they are connected to, then that gives you an idea of what you prefer. You listen to your heart and you follow your heart and say, okay, I like this, and this, and I'm good in this. This is the profession, this is the profession. Then you will know, if you study more about the profession, you will just know, yes, this is mine. This is the one. For example, if it's about cooking, it could be about cooking, being a cook. It could be about restaurant, doing the restaurant business. It could be about hotel. So you need to find out all of them. While you are researching and you are investigating each one of them, you will suddenly discover that, yes, it's this one. It is this one. So it is not about getting a job, but it is about doing what you are created to do, or going to do what you are, sent to the world to pursue. So that profession, therefore, becomes the venue or the avenue or the platform through which you bring the kingdom of God to that particular sphere of influence. So, so the thing that you are naturally good at is one way that God wants to talk to you about your gift and your calling. But the purpose of gift and calling is to bring the kingdom of God to wherever that sphere of influence is. So it's not just about you making money. It's not just about you doing what you like and just enjoying the process. But it's about you, using that as a key, as a platform to go and bring the values of the kingdom of God to that particular sphere of influence. Yeah, let's continue. So write a list. Take a list of paper, or you take your iPad or your computer and get a list for yourself of what you are naturally good at. Yesterday, I also spoke about the fact that even after you have done your due diligence and you have done your research and you have done your critical analysis, you will discover that there might be some more than 2 or 3 things that you are good at. It doesn't follow that if you are lucky that you are only good at one thing, that's good for you. But you might be, you might be good in more than one thing. So if you are good in more than one thing, then, you write them down also. It's no problem that you are good in more than one thing. That could also be helpful to you because, like the brother we spoke about yesterday, he discovered that his calling was medicine. Okay, apart from medicine, he was still good in teaching, and he was good in leadership. So why? How do you? Some people think that being good in more than one thing is a confusion. Some people think that that is going to mess them up, and they say, okay, which one do I pursue? I like this, I like this, I like this. So where do I go? But the real thing is that you are supposed to go to the direction of your strongest inclination, of your strongest passion, and of what you are more naturally good at. So once you follow that, then you discover that those other things that you are good at, they will mash up. They will follow you. They will, you will find a place for them. Okay, the young man that was good at, that was called to medicine, I mean, on the first glance, it would look as if medicine doesn't have anything to do with teaching. But if you study medicine properly, I mean, if you, not medicine itself, but if you study the subject and you look around and you do research about medicine, you will discover that medicine cannot solve. I mean, there is no medicine without teaching, and without teaching and education. So there is educational part of medicine. But in the case of that brother, it was not education that he was pursuing. It was giving educational, medicine enlightenment to people. So it was actually bringing insight, enlightenment to people about preventive medicine. So you see now. So the second passion that he has is actually a pointer to help him know that what he's actually supposed to deal with is not just medicine in general, but preventive medicine, because he likes to teach. So he likes to teach people how to prevent sickness and diseases. So that second passion of it is to teach. Now is also a complementary is complementary to the general calling that he has, and also is a pointer to help him to discover that really this will really. So the second or third passion you have might be a pointer for you to know what concrete, what aspect, what to focus in, what to zero in your area of calling. So thanks to the fact that this gentleman knew that his area of medicine is to bring prevention, so then the ability to teach comes in handy. And so it's one of the greatest gifts you need to do preventive medicine. You need to be able to illuminate people, open their eyes and teach them. And that's how his secondary gift comes into play. And the third gift that he had was about leadership. And you need leadership to do preventive medicine, because you need to be proactive. You need to go and reach out to people and let people know that you need to be always going. You need to put a structure. You need to organize things. So if you have 2 or 3 passions or things that you are good at, it's okay for you. Let's say you say, I'm good at cooking, and and I like writing as well. Why not go and pursue your primary pursuit, your primary passion, which is cooking? But while you are pursuing that, you will also discover that cooking also requires writing, because you need to write the recipe, you need to give instructions about it, you need to write the book, cooking book, and things like that. Or maybe you like to cook and draw. Well, you will soon discover that cooking has something to do with drawing as well. So you don't trivialize your natural inclinations. Don't ever look down at your abilities. Don't look down at you and what you are good at. So that's why the first thing you need to do is to sit down and think. Come to solitude with yourself. Be one-on-one with yourself and think. Throw yourself the question: what are you naturally good at? That comes to you naturally. That comes out of you naturally. Look for those things. Make a list of them, and then begin to study about each one of them. And when you are studying, let your heart be open. You will discover that, yes, this is it. Unfortunately, many people don't do this before they go to choose their profession. But this is what you are supposed to go through first before you choose your profession. It is this now that after finding out this, that will inform you on what profession to take. So first of all, you have to find out the things that you are naturally good at. Then study to find out what professions are connected to them. Then study to find out details about each one of those professions. Then look also into your subsidiary giftings and passion, how could they be connected to that initial passion that you have and initial thing that you are good at? Then see the profession that, what aspect of that particular profession has those inclination towards those other subsidiary or supportive gifts and calling that you have or passion that you have. So those supportive passions will let you now know, okay, it is this part of this subject you want to go to. It is this type of engineering or this type of computer science. It is this type of teaching, education, this type of this you want to do. So all things that God has put inside of you, they are not by accident. They are put there to help you. So when you go to church or to some places and they tell you, for you to find out what your calling and your calling in life is, just pray. You can get it by prayer too, but it is already in you. Those things are already buried in you. You just need to be more. You need to. Why should you be bothering God in heaven when you can study yourself here on earth? Of course, if your calling is about something spiritual and is a God calling full-time ministry, you might need to want to receive calling, but it doesn't follow. I personally, I've never heard a calling that I need to be a pastor. It's what I discovered by myself. I never had a calling that I'm supposed to be an apostle or something. It's what I discovered by myself. So, yeah. Okay, so you make a list. You study your areas of natural gifting, or the things that naturally come out of you. I've used the example of, some simple things that we might think they are not important. Let's say, for example, you like to put things in order. You like to make order. And you say, oh, no, I don't have any gifting. I mean, I've seen people who like to put things in order, who are very meticulous, and they say, oh, I don't have any gifting. I don't have any gifting. I'm not gifted in anything. That is one of the most important gifts in the world, to make order. There are so few people who like to make order. If you develop yourself, you could become one of the best top managers in the world. Every industry needs top managers. Every industry needs order. Every industry needs management. So if you like to make order, that means you have to study everything that is connected to management, order, structure, system. Wow. People who build computers are people who like to make order. People who build industries, cities, architects, they are people who like to make order. People who do town planning and things, they are people who like to make order. I mean, to make things, to make things be in order. So, but if you don't study what are the profession connected to making order, you would think you don't have a profession. I mean, even in some families, some parents actually laugh at their kids that, oh, you are so meticulous, you want to make order everywhere. What are you doing? Are you the only one here? Let things be. But those are inclinations that we need to pay attention to. Those are natural things that come out of that person naturally. The natural giftings that, might enhance the calling, or that might point to the calling of that person. So little things like making order, it looks too ordinary. It looks, like nothing special. But the greatest calling might be in that. People like, sometimes people like to play with technical things. Sometimes people like to play with, technical stuff. Just, finding out how things are built. I mean, those could be some of the greatest inventors. Those could be some of the greatest engineers in the world. But if you think, he doesn't want to study, he just wants to work with his hand, or he just wants to do, research, he just wants to, unpack all the bags, and just wants to unpack all the television and the technical things, he's spoiling everything here, then you will lose your child, or your child will lose the destiny. So, for us to be able to help our children, these are the ways to help them. Don't choose your profession because of salary. You don't choose your profession because they pay very well or because it's popular. First of all, your profession has to be chosen in accordance. Your profession has to be chosen in accordance to what comes out of you naturally. You first of all must find out what is it that comes out of you naturally. Then study that area of inclination, study that area of gifting where you are naturally good at. Find out what are the professions that are connected to that. Make a list of those professions, then see which one of them you gravitate towards naturally, which ones comes easier out of you. Not which one pays more salary, but which one comes out easier. And then you will always have, supplementary or subordinate passions. Those subordinate passions are the things that are supposed to make you more original. Things that are supposed to make that your initial calling to be more pinpointed and to be more creative, to be more you. So, for example, if you have, like for example, Steve Jobs. I read the story of Steve Jobs. He was studying and he was good in computer and things like that. Then one day he felt like going to do, carving of art, in art, carving of woods and carving of things like that. He was carving out things. And how could, that be connected with, computer? But he went to study how to do art and carve, but he never knew that one day he was going to bring about revolution in typing. What do you call it? In what this I'm typing now. Calligraphy. Yeah, calligraphy. What you call letters? In the letters of the calligraphy in the letters of the computer, because before then, they didn't have it so nicely done. So because of that skill that it required, he brought a revolution in computers. So he started carving out the word and to making them original for you to, and that's what has made him to have smartphones and to do, to install them. So all those things are things that later added to him. So some of the things that we think are not connected, they are some of the things that are most connected. I mean, they might not be connected, but the more they seem apart, the more they seem unconnected, the better it is for you to be original. So anything that you have, any inclination that you have, any skill that you have that is not connected to another, it is actually the best gifting that you could have, the best blessing that you have. Because those things that are not connected, by the time you bring them together, and you connect them, then you are able to create something original that other people have never even thought about, or they never even thought could be done. So appreciate everything that you have. Appreciate all your gifts. Appreciate all your potentials. Appreciate all your inclinations. All those inclinations will be something that will point to what you are supposed to do in life. Let's say somebody likes to notice something that is wrong. You're always seeing something that is wrong in everything. If you are such a person, it means you have critical thinking. If you are the type that sees something that is wrong everywhere, and people say, oh, he doesn't have a gift, he doesn't have any gift, he's just criticizing everybody, He's a cynic, he's a skeptic. It's one of the greatest gifts you could have, because that is the mind of an inventor. To criticize, not to criticize, but to see something that is wrong anywhere, it means that you are an innovator. God could make you, because innovators are people who see what they could improve in everything. Let's say they see this cup, and they see what they could improve in it. They see what is wrong about it. And by the time they add that little thing, they have invented something else. So to see something that is wrong everywhere, sometimes we could think is negative. And say, oh, he's just negative, he's just a negative guy. But with that kind of guy, we should find out how to use his gift and his negativity, or whatever we call negativity. The reason why sometimes those people become negative is because they have not been appreciated. Nobody has guided them. Nobody has helped them to discover how to go about their gifting. Everybody is gifted somewhere. Everyone. So even when you are the type that likes to see everything that is wrong somewhere, and what is not like that, those kind of people are the most precious people you could ever think about. Because you see what is wrong everywhere, it means that you are able to move towards perfection. You are able to create better products. Those kind of people should be employed in every industry. Those kind of people that are seeing what is wrong, they must be in every company, in every industry, because they will be the ones to take you further. They will be the ones to push you higher. They will be the ones to always make you to move towards improvement. So we have been going on now for 35 minutes. 35 minutes has gone. I think by now you should already have an idea of what you are supposed to do and what are your giftings in life. But once you get your gift, don't just say, okay, I like to sing, and you just sing to your own parents or to your own family. No, when you discover that, okay, singing is what you like, for example, go and develop it. Go and build a platform under it. Go and, go for musical school. Or if you're the one that likes to see something that is wrong everywhere, find out what critical thinking, what are the professions that are connected with critical thinking. And then go and study on critical thinking. And go and study on improving things. And then that is what will give you a platform in life. And then find out the professions that are connected. Then that is what what your profession is. Don't let your children just choose a profession because of the peer pressure or because of the parental pressure or because of salary or because of what is reigning or what is being talked about in the city. No, they should choose their profession based on what comes out of them naturally. Now, it could be in some cases that they have 2 or 3, 4 things that are coming out of them naturally, and later on it could change. That inclination could change. But the reason why those things change is because either they did not discover, what particular one they are really strongest at, or because the atmosphere or the environment, it did not appreciate the one that they really had where they were better in. So what you do is that let them, let them have a list of everything they are good in, and let them, stop at 3, 4, 5, things that they are good at. And those things, let them develop all the 3 of them, or the 4 of them, or the 5 of them. So one way or the other, they will be able to find out, those things will still help them anyway. They will still, help them to become what they need to become in life. Like somebody will say, oh, he just likes to talk all the time. He just likes to talk. Why are you always talking? Especially, I know that, a lot of people don't like women who talk a lot. Oh, you should just talk. Oh, this woman are always talking. This woman are always talking. Well, there might be something there. There are some people who are not just talking as women, but there are some people who are talking because that is connected with their calling, you see. Like now I'm talking. So talking could be a profession, oratory and eloquence. That is how teachers do. That's why you have a lot of women who are teachers. That's why we have a lot of women who are, you are taking care of our children in primary school, secondary school, but it's not just, but sometimes we think that talking is only about being a teacher. No, talking could be about consultation. Talking could be about giving guidance, direction. Talking could be about being a preacher. Talking could be about, many other things that are connected with talking. So we should not trivialize people's gifts, people's abilities, or people's potential and say that they are nothing. No, we should appreciate everybody's potential, everybody's resource, everybody's, thing that come out of everybody naturally. Like I said, when I was growing up in Africa, I used to grow up with my grandmother, and I used to always talk. And especially always ask questions. Everybody used to say, why are you always talking? They try to silence me. They say, okay, you become a lawyer, I think, or something. But I didn't become a lawyer. I became a journalist. And also I became a preacher, because preachers talk. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm talking. Another thing that I like to do was that I like to listen. Okay, let's listen. Let's look at this particular inclination that I had, for example. What naturally comes out of me is to go and listen to people talking wisdom. I just like to go and listen to people who know more than me. I just go and listen to them. I like history. I like people to talk about history, what is happening. I just like new knowledge. I'm just naturally inclined towards new knowledge. I never knew that that is the key to wisdom. And I never knew that that is the key to innovation. I never knew that that is the key to wisdom. And so, but today, I'm known as somebody who speaks things that are unstandard, things that are unconventional. Wisdom. I'm known for wisdom today. Why? Because I have that as a natural inclination to just go and listen to people. Listen to older people, be in meetings of older. And I was always surprised when I was growing up. All kids like me, you could never get them to sit down to go and listen to anybody. They always want to run about, play, and all that. But I was always willing, always, wanting to go and listen to some older people. And when the old people gather together, I always want to go and listen. I always want to go and listen. And even up to now, my children, I'm surprised that they don't have that. I mean, they don't naturally do that. I'm saying, look, I'm your dad. Everybody is coming to listen to me. Why are you not listening? But they have their own areas of calling, you see. But I was always surprised that why are people not in a hurry to go and listen to, especially when you're a kid, because that's my own area of calling. That's my own area of calling. I didn't know that, and nobody could tell me that. So maybe the same thing with you. Maybe you have your children that like to just go and listen and just look into your mouth. Wow, that is a gifting right there. But you need to do some research and find out what are the professions connected with that ability. What are the skills connected to that ability? Then you go and do research and then help them to go and get connected to that profession. Help them go and get connected to that area of gifting. So all of us have our giftings and our callings inside us. It is buried inside you. It is buried inside your son, your daughter, your children. They have it. I mean, can you imagine just listening, going to listen? I mean, today, that is one of my greatest occupations. If you ask me, what is the thing that I would like to do most? If you lock me up in a place for 1 year, not to go out, what would I like to do most? It's not talking. Not preaching. What I would like to do most is to learn new things. Just to go and study. Or just learning, listening, learning, teaching. Not teaching, learning, reading. That's what I would like to do. If you could just get on my own in the room and just learn, nothing like it for me. Nothing like it for me. So something like that comes to you naturally, as if it's not a profession. So the thing that comes out of you that you are naturally good at might not even look like a profession to you. It might not even look like a job to you, like a job description to you. It might not even look like a gift to you. You don't have to look for gifts. Anything that you naturally do. If you naturally just like being alone, that might be a profession. That might be not a profession, but it might be a pointer to your profession, to your calling. Just to be alone. Because researchers are people who like to be alone. Thinkers are people who like to be alone. Writers are people who like to be alone. So find out what are the professions connected to loneliness. To loneliness. So, anything that anybody has natural inclination to, it might not be gifts or abilities. Some people are always talking about talent. Oh, do you sing? Do you dance? Oh, what are the talents you have? No talents, just anything that comes out of you naturally. And just anything that you are naturally good at, go and study it. Go and do research on that. Go and find out how that could be used. Go and find out there are some things that are connected to it. There are some professions. Even if you say there are no professions that are connected to your own, if you say there are no professions, there is no profession that is connected to what you are naturally inclined to, well, maybe you are going to be the first one to bring about that profession. For example, somebody in America, I think you have seen these kind of smiles before. Everybody has seen smiles in America, right? Not from America mainly, but it's all over the world now. Smiles. The yellow smiles, the yellow sign of smile, is somebody that likes to smile. That started with somebody, smiley face, the smiley face. That started with somebody that liked to smile, So that smiley face started with somebody, something like this, smiley face. It started with somebody. Before they put the teeth, it just used to be like that. And it started with, just like that. This was started with somebody who liked to smile. This was started by somebody in America who just liked to smile. And you say, but how can that be a profession? How can that be a calling? Well, how can I give a smile to somebody? How can I make somebody smile, happy? She was smiling by herself before, and she discovered that, but me alone, I'm not enough. I have to make this popular. She just a smile, and everywhere, it's something that everybody is talking about today, and everybody is using today. This started with somebody that had the inclination of just to smile naturally. It became a new kind of profession, a new kind of skills. Why? Because somebody had discovered the gift. So maybe you like to make people beautiful. That is a gift right there. And so it doesn't just matter what you like to do. You have something that comes out of you naturally. What is it that takes your interest? What is it that you are naturally good at? You need to struggle. Now, when I say you don't need to struggle, doesn't mean that you don't need to pay the price, or it will not be. But it comes out. Okay, for example, if you say, if I say it comes out of you naturally to love medicine, that doesn't mean you don't have to study to work hard. Because some people say, okay, your gift, if it's something that is natural to you, you are naturally good at it, or it comes out to you naturally, then that means that it's not difficult. No, everything is difficult. For you to be the best in whatever you are going to do, it's going to be difficult. For you to be best in whatever you're going to do, you have to work hard. It doesn't mean you will not work hard. But when you are working hard in something that comes naturally to you, that work hard is not, it's not torturous. You are not suffering out of that hard work. You are enjoying the process, or you might not even enjoy the process in the sense that it's hard work, but you are in your own place. You are in your own place. You are doing what you are supposed to be doing. It's much more better than to be struggling and torturing yourself to do something that you don't even have inclination for whatsoever. That is totally different and much worse. So some people, especially those motivational speakers, they tell you that, just do something that you need to. When you are in your calling, it will just be easy. No, nothing is easy in life. Yeah. For example, if your calling is to be an inventor and to design something, people like Steve Jobs or Bill Gates, you think it's easy for them? Of course not. But it's natural for them. They want to do it. It comes out of them naturally. But they are not, they are not suffering as a result of it. They are liking to do it. They like to do it. They enjoy the process. Even though they are paying the price, they are working 18 hours a day. To work 18 hours a day in anything is not easy. But they know they are doing what they are supposed to do. So they would rather do that than any other thing. So what is that thing that you are naturally just good at, you would rather do? The problem comes when we think that what we are naturally good at is not good enough to give us salary. The problem is when we begin to think what we are naturally good at is not good enough to sustain us. That is a deception right there. Everything that God has put in you is good enough to sustain you. Everything that God has put in you is good enough to make you a millionaire. Everything that is in you is good enough to make you competitive and better than any other person, who is in the wrong place. You should not work for a job. You should not look for a job ever. You should not look for work ever. The work is in you. You should never look for a job ever. The job is in you. Your job is already written in you, in your system. Before the creation of the earth, before you were born, before you were sent here, your job description is already in you. Your calling is your job. Your calling is your purpose. Your calling is your job description. So just discover what you are naturally good at. Where you are naturally good, and then go to school to develop them, or do research. And once you've done the research, you discover what direction you're supposed to go. Then go to school to develop them. So profession is pursuing what you already discovered. So education, therefore, is just something that helps to magnify or amplify what you have already discovered. So you don't go to school to discover what you are supposed to be. I mean, maybe primary school. I think primary, secondary school might be a place of discovery, what you're, to help you totally discover what your inclinations are. But university and tertiary education is supposed to help you to now, magnify, amplify, develop, and, to add value, to make sure that you become an expert, and to teach you how to make a profession out of your natural inclination. So your natural inclinations, school is supposed to help you package it into a profession. Your natural inclination and your gifting, where you are naturally gifted, the school and education is supposed to help you to brand them, to package them, or to construct them, to make them sellable product, to make them palatable, to make you be able to present it, to make it to refine. It's supposed to refine you in it. That is what education is for. Education is could also be used to help you market it, to teach you how to market what you already have, to teach you how to make it into a mass production, how to make it into a product for everybody. So the gifting that you have is already there in you. What you're already good in is already money. You already have money. Every one of us is already rich. Every one of us is already a millionaire. Every one of us is already wealthy. You are wealthy in your gift. You are wealthy in your gifting. You are wealthy. You are rich already. If you have something that you are naturally good at, that is money. I mean, the person who discovered how that he can cook, but that's why we have millionaire cooks. Even we have millionaires who are cleaners, but they are not cleaning with hands anymore. They are cleaning with machines. They are having cleaning industry, cleaning companies. Why? Because they have been able to discover that they like cleaning, they like things to be clean, and they have gone to add value to it through education. They have gone to amplify it. They have gone to develop that skill. So, the tendency for you to learn to like cleaning, just because you like what is to make everything clean, that is a pointer to you of what your calling and your profession is. Now that you know that, okay, it's cleaning that I like, then you go to school and find out what are the professions that are connected to this, or what could I study to really make this big, to develop this and to make this a skill for me. So that is how we discover our wealth. And when you develop that, it begins to give you money. You begin to discover that there are people who are in need of it. There is nothing that you know how to do that nobody is in need of. Oh, somebody could say, oh, but how can, everybody cooks. I just know how to cook. Everybody cooks. Well, why is it that we have people that the restaurants are prospering? Why is it that hotels are prospering? Why is it that other people cooks are being employed? Because it's not the fact that everybody can cook that your profession is not profitable. Every gift that you have has money in it. Every gift that you have has money in it. Every tendency, everything you are good at has money in it. Maybe you like to speak different languages. Well, there's money in that. But if you are just learning the language and just speak it, but it will not give you any money. You need to add value to it. You need to go and find out how to use that gift to become a profession, and all the different areas where to use it and where they are needed and where it is most in demand. Maybe you only like to read. Maybe you only like to read. Just like me, I really like to listen to other people to get knowledge. If you like to read, wow. I was listening to Warren Buffett this morning, and he said one of the greatest secrets to him to become one of the richest men in the world is just because he liked to read. He said because of reading, he discovered his profession, what he was to become an inventor in life at 7-year-old, just because he liked to read. When you like to read, there is no stopping for you. You can reach any height. So people who like to read, that is already your inclination. Then find out what area, of profession, that particular reading, or what subject you like to read, and what area you like to develop yourself in. So everything that you are naturally good at is where your calling is where your profession is. Or maybe you like to write. I mean, writers. So you have to just develop it. But everything that I'm talking about today, if you don't develop them, they will never benefit you. Or maybe you like to criticize people. This is different from saying something that is wrong. Or this is different from what I had said earlier, that, critical thinking. Criticizing is different from critical thinking. Critical thinking is, research, doing research, make out things will be better. But criticizing might be to criticize what people are doing wrong. That could be another profession as well. Because when you are criticizing people, you are correcting them, making them, maybe not just people, but things. When you are criticizing things, you make things better as well. So there are so many things that are in us naturally that we think they are not important, but they are really important. I mean, look at, for example, someone like David. He liked to go and be with the sheep, with the cattle in the forest. And his brothers didn't like that. They were saying, wow, they were running away. He was the only one in the field. Well, because that was his natural gifting, his natural inclination. That natural gifting, what he was good in, later became his life destiny. He became later on the shepherd of Israel. Or let's say, for example, Joseph. It was just coming to him naturally to dream. I mean, he never thought of dreaming. These are things that just came naturally to him. But that dreaming was where his destiny was lying. Because later on, he started dreaming in Egypt. When he was in prison, that dream brought him out of prison. When he was in the dungeon, that dream made him to come out of dungeon. And then, it is the dreaming, that ability that made him to become the prime minister in a foreign land. So the thing that naturally comes to people, the thing that you are naturally good at, you need to turn into your profession. The thing that you are naturally good at, you need to turn into your money-making industry. The thing that you are naturally good at, you need to turn it into your money, into your finances, into your employment, into your profession, into your skills, into your millions. Your millions are in what you are naturally gifted in. But you must go and develop them. You must go and do research on them. You must go and amplify them. You must go and magnify them. You must go and do research on them. Get some profession skills. Then combine them with other things that you are good at. So other skills and passion that you might be having. Anyway, my time is almost out. I can't see your comments. Let's write. I want to see your comments. What are you learning from this teaching? What are you learning from this teaching? Can you write your comments? Can you write your comments, please? And if you have not yet shared this link, please go ahead and share the link. Go ahead and share the link. Go ahead and share this link, and let me see your comments. Okay, the comments are coming now. The comments are coming now. All right, thank you. The comments are coming now. Okay. Ja Anton said, Doctor, please, I would like to have the translation in French of your videos. You do the translation. Who will do the translation? You do it. I cannot be doing the speaking and doing the translation at the same time. You go and translate it. Why not? Basil Elibo said, learned so much from you. Someone people love to listen to. A blessing to our generation. Thank God for his mercies. Thank you. Jot Idowu said, Peter, a fisherman, became fisher of men. Yes. Bosse Fanyajola said, the zeal in Apostle Paul made him the Apostle Paul. Ola Martin said, thank you. God bless you for enlightening me. Okay. Dale Smith says, I need to go back to school. Thank you. Eno Bakare said, this is awesome. Thank you, sir. Adewale Emmanuel said, I've learned that you need to develop yourself and your gifting. Obu Kokuo said, does age affect your calling? No, it doesn't. That's what we spoke about 2 days ago. Oluwaye Missy Johnson said, your gift will launch you out. Yes, if you develop it. If you don't develop it, it will not launch you anywhere. Justus Fowler said, I learned that I have to discover my gifting. Oluwatoyin said, you are helping us discover who we are the more. In my usual words, I am fired up. The world will feel the heat. Andrew Muzila said, I'm blessed. Even Botswana is receiving this pastor. Tina Stevens says, looking into my life and see what I love doing. Thanks a lot. Yusharia Elo Ebo said, I agree that although one's calling can come naturally, but one may have to overcome some obstacles to achieve greatness. Not easy at something. Yes. Ajeni Coco Richard said, I learned that you have to pay attention to yourself to discover your calling. That's true. Niyo Lushola said, a critic will be good in quality control. Yes. Convert your gifts and inclination to your profession. That's right. Martin says, I need to go back and research professions related to the things that I do naturally. Yes. Ufuoma said, thank you, sir, for bringing clarity in my several abilities and making me realize that I can utilize them all. God bless you, sir. Adewale said, developing our gift is what makes us sorted out in our field. Yes. Francisco said, I learned that don't put down others and be thankful for your gifting. Yes. Nkem DK, my gifts, nurtured, developed to excellence, is my wealth. Right. Just got a divine revelation from that statement that I have never seen in such a way before. Good. Kike, thank you, Pastor Sunday. It's really true that any gift we have can be of great benefit with returns. God asked Moses what was in his hand. I dream of inventing things, and I have been writing each idea that comes to me. I have also started researching on one of my ideas. Thank you for your message of encouragement and inspiration. Thank you, Kike. Terry Samuel said, from making money and financial success to ministry and discovering our purpose. Thank you, Pastor Sunday. You have made my year. God bless you. Festus Fola Josiah said, you are a gift to this generation and God will multiply your wisdom. Thank you. Popola says, there is a gift in everyone. We are to cultivate it to yield the desired result. Yes. Popola, by the way, I got your letter. I will reply you today. Maxwell says, you just awakened the giant in me. Thank God. Beate says, thank you, Pastor, for great advice and caring so much. Thank you. Emmanuel Okoji says, sir, for me, it's music writing, photography, and media in general, and how it shapes the lenses through which people look at life. But I am in a fix now because of the tendency on me from the family, because of the dependency on me from the family. What do I do? Do I quit my job to pursue it? No, you first of all develop the skill that you have before you quit your job. Because if you quit your job and you don't have anything doing, it will end you in trouble. So first of all, go and develop. You have to do this in parallel until your skills, your inclination begins to make some money for you. Kate Imoe Deme said, you have touched so many around areas today of which I can see myself going to now fully develop in those areas. Thank you for inspiring me. God bless you, sir. Patricia Ogbino said, after listening to these teachings, I have decided to restrain in what I enjoy most, which is wanting to help and make people comfortable. Wow. Wenyimi John said, it's easy to discover oneself by paying attention to ourselves. We complicate things by expecting everything to be extraordinary. Yeah. Rufus Osai says, sir, the world needs more men like you, sir, as to invade the world entirely with so much knowledge and wisdom, so that many people will be exposed to their calling, because many are ignorant for lack of knowledge. Yeah. Shegun Ajakaye said, thank you, Pastor, for this message. God bless you. Angela Miel, God bless you, Pastor. I have passionate love for others. Yeah. Ime Ekwe said, a few months ago, I was promoting my online business and took a break from online marketing. I wish I didn't take a second break. When you look at the situation in Nigeria, I predicted this suffering, but no one listened. Rochelle White, discovery is just the beginning. It then takes a spirit of excellence, hard work, and total commitment for it to grow to a tree. That's so true. Balanza says, God bless you, Pastor Karen. Peter Yodele says, find out someone that needs help around you today and listen to them. Listening to people's problems sometimes help them to solve the problem by letting it out the container. Most people in jail need someone to listen to their problems and counsel them. Most of the people committing suicide today wouldn't have done it if they had seen someone to listen to their problems. Some people don't have anybody around them to share their problems with or to listen to their issues. Problems stay in the stomach for so long is like containerizing a bomb until you let it out. If not, it could become a poison seed. Menrad said, thank you, Pastor, for your teaching. I'm fired up. I have many things I like doing naturally, but I didn't know that they are gifts in me. I am going to develop them. God bless you, man of God. Well, let's go and share this link. If it's such a blessing to you guys, go ahead and look for your share button and let's go and share it, okay? Gregory Femi said, what I love to do is to motivate people around. Minke Theodora said, I respond later on. I did not watch the whole video. You are a bubbling fountain of love and knowledge, a bright well. You are talking from a heavenly treasure. It is pure Christ consciousness. Yes, God bless you. Thank you so much. Will you guys go and share the link so that other people might be able to watch it and you too could watch it later? Elizabeth Ali said, thank you very much, Pastor. I love talking, encouraging, motivating people, especially women. So many things I've learned today. Going to do research on those areas now. God bless you, Pastor. I will do one day. Yeah. Say, I'm stirred up, sir. Thank you, Pastor Sunday. Yeah, let's go ahead and share the link. Let's go ahead and share this message so that other people who are not here today could see and let them be blessed as well. You know, God wants us to be a blessing. And then you also could use this. Yeah, you've come back to this many times. Beate says cooking is working with head, heart, and hands. People invent new dishes, work in a team, create something people are highly enjoying and pay a lot of money for. Great and important branch is just promoting healthy food. African food is not famous like Indian food or Italian or Chinese food. Why? Because you think cooking is too minor a job. That is so true. Jacqueline Ojo said, wow, that's my calling. Cooking. Pastor Sunday Adelaja advised me to develop my cooking skills. Shirley Vidal Smith, God has set me in a position I'm completely vulnerable in. I don't like my job, but I'm here until God moves me. Until then, I will help those He sends my way. Well, you know, you should develop your gift, your calling, and you will know when you are ready to move on. Instead of waiting for God to do it, you do it yourself. Fat Beaz says, I am naturally good at making people happy, bringing smile to people's faces, making them forget about their worries, encouraging them. Well, make it their profession. Molly Ib say, Pastor, you have changed my world. God bless you, sir. Thank you. Barbara Darrell Malo said, you are a true blessing. Thank you. Ife Omashinedu said, may God increase your wisdom, sir. You too. Well, you guys, it's been nice to be with you. Go share the link. Let somebody be blessed. And, you know, Go and fulfill your calling. Oluwayemisi Johnson says, you first have to discover the area you are good in, then begin to develop it, and with the help of God, it becomes your calling. Yep. Bernadetto Francisco said, God bless you, Pastor. Thank you. Rufus says, sir, the man God created is entirely filled with so much, since the Bible said God created in his own image. He created us with so much possibilities in us. There is need for men to take out time to explore themselves. There is so much to every man God created. My advice is for everyone to take out time to observe themselves and note their observation as its key to their calling. Peter Ayodele says, thanks, Pastor, but some pastors tell me that if you don't hear from God, it's too dangerous to become a pastor. If that is your inclination, if that is what your heart is telling you, follow your heart. Follow your heart. Thank you so much, everyone. Nice to be with you. See you tonight. You know, for people who don't know, every evening is 9 o'clock, not 9:30. So it's like 7 p.m. British time, 7 p.m. Nigerian time, and 2 p.m. Eastern time in America. So it's not 2:30, it's 2 p.m. It's in the morning that we have 7:30 a.m. British time, 7:30 a.m. Nigerian time, and 2:30 a.m. American time. Okay, God bless you guys. Bye.